Live from Studio 44 in downtown Evansville, 44 News at Noon starts now.
Good afternoon. Welcome to 44 News at Noon. I'm Amanda Chodnicki filling in for Shelby Coates. The scores are finally out. The Indiana Department of Education released the results of the 2016 I-STEP test today. The top scoring high schools in the area include Mater Dei with a score of 65.2% and Memorial High School with a score of 61.2%. For preschool through the 8th grade, the top scoring schools in the area were St. Wendell School and Good Shepherd School. 44 News reporter William Wilkoff will take a closer look at those scores in our area. You can catch his story tonight on 44 News, and for a link to all of the scores, you can visit WEVV.com. Henderson Community College is teaming up with Murray State University for a dual admissions program. HCC has made a formal announcement this morning at Sullivan Tech Center with representatives from both schools. HCC says the partnership means better service to students and increases potential for future collaborations.
We want our students to come here and make every class count. We want them to have a goal, to be able to take classes leading directly to that goal, to have them transfer seamlessly as they move to their four-year institutions.
An open house is also planned for today involving Henderson Community College and Murray State University. It is from 4 until 6 this evening. The event will be held on the Henderson campus at the Sullivan Tech Center. Members of the HCC and Murray staff will be available to answer questions. Murray students are welcome to attend as well. The city of Mount Vernon is celebrating a major milestone today. 200 years ago, McFadden's Landing was renamed Mount Vernon, Indiana, in honor of General George Washington. 4 cakes were made to celebrate, and Mayor Bill Curtis made the first cut. Mayor Curtis says his family had a major role in the name change.
One of my great-great-greats, who was a veteran of the Revolutionary War, suggested it be named after Mount Vernon, General Washington's place. So that was kind of interesting. You know, 200 years later, here I am as mayor.
Mount Vernon has had bicentennial events over the last week, with this ceremony as the final celebration. Well, Evansville police are looking for the suspects in a robbery that happened early this morning in the 800 block of Line Street here in Evansville. The victim told police when he returned home, 2 armed individuals approached him and told him to get on the ground. The victim says the suspects then forced him inside the home, where they took his cell phone and his wallet, which he said had $1,000 inside. According to the victim, the suspects escaped in a black Jeep Cherokee or Laredo. If you have any information, you're asked to call the Evansville Police. Police also arrested an Evansville woman after a Wednesday night robbery on the Near East Side. According to the police report, officers responded to the Conoco gas station in the 1600 block of South Kentucky Avenue. That was around 8 p.m. 34-year-old Jessica Forrest faces charges of armed robbery and hit and run after the victim says she was offered a ride home but was then robbed at knife point. The victim was able to get away and call police. When officers returned to the gas station, they found Forrest noticed damage to her car and then arrested her. Well, Evansville police are investigating an armed robbery that also took place Wednesday morning on the city's east side. According to the police report, officers responded to the 1200 block of Devonshire Place around 5 a.m. after a victim claimed they were robbed at knife point. The victim says he was outside and approached by 2 men in an SUV asking if he wanted to buy drugs. The suspects then choked the victim from behind and held a knife to his body. And then they emptied the victim's pockets. If you have any information, you're also asked to contact the Evansville Police. Jackie.
All right, thank you, Amanda. It's 12:04 on this sunny Thursday afternoon. We're already up to 77 degrees at the airport. Winds are out of the south at 13 miles per hour. Now, remember the previous record, 80 degrees. We're getting close. We may tie or break it, but to be continued for today as we do continue to warm up. Nice day today, unseasonably warm. The average this time of year is those upper 50s. as you can see, well above average. Windy, and we do have that elevated fire risk, which we'll get into more detail here momentarily. Day planner today at 3 p.m. We're going to see that temp of about 75 degrees. It is nice and warm outside. Nice day to head outdoors, put on that sunscreen, enjoy. 66 is what you are seeing at 6 p.m. And as we continue through your evening at 9 p.m. This evening tonight, we'll see a temp of about 62 degrees. Big changes for your weekend. Rain on the way. I'll have all those details coming up in minutes. Amanda.
Thanks, Jackie. Well, investigators are trying to determine the cause of a deadly gas explosion in central Illinois. At least one person was killed and 11 others hurt after the blast damaged several buildings in the downtown Canton area. CBS News correspondent Don Daler has that story.
There used to be a building right there, guys.
Video captured shortly after the blast shows just how powerful the explosion really was.
I'd say this is pretty damn serious. There's where the building used to be.
Officials say it was around 6 p.m. when a natural gas explosion ripped apart this building, killing one man. Reports say he was a utility worker investigating a leak. 11 others were injured.
There was just glass and stuff blown everywhere. It scared the living Jesus out of me.
Debris from damaged buildings littered the streets, while emergency workers scrambled to help any of the injured. This surveillance video, taken from inside a nearby local business, displayed the strength of the explosion.
Just a massive rumble and a big boom, and just everything came crashing down at one time.
Overnight, community members wasted no time picking up the pieces, boarding up broken windows, and cleaning up affected businesses.
I might lose the building.
Jeff Hawk owns a local shop in downtown Canton that was also devastated by the blast.
There's been reports that people have felt the concussion all the way on the other side of the lake, which is like 5 miles from the downtown. People heard it from that far away.
City officials moved quickly to shut down all the other gas lines throughout the area. They've now brought in a team of structural engineers to take a look at the other buildings, make sure that they weren't compromised as well. Don Daler, CBS News, Canton, Illinois.
The man accused of a terror attack in New York City earlier this year is hit with an 8-county federal indictment. Ahmad Rahimi was indicted for a bomb that went off in Manhattan back in September, injuring 30 people. A pipe bomb also went off in Seaside, New Jersey. He made his initial court appearance last week after recovering from gunshot wounds he sustained in a shootout with police. President Obama is making his 6th and final visit as president to Germany. During his visit, President Obama stressed a message of solidarity amid concerns over the intentions of President-elect Donald Trump. Mr. Obama and Chancellor Merkel hope to extend European sanctions on Russia for its military intervention in Ukraine, which expires around the same time Trump takes office. Friday, he'll meet with the leaders of France, UK, Italy, and Spain. Well, coming up next at noon, today is a special day for those who have been adopted or are considering adopting. Those details next. And one stitch at a time, a Tri-State ministry is mending hearts torn apart by the loss of a child. More on a 44 News special report next.